Hey folks, Tim DeMilla. I just want to talk about on this video the subject of neglect and abuse. Neglect and abuse. How do you know if somebody's neglecting you or abusing you? And, well, the thing about abuse is you can define abuse as AB, meaning abnormal, and then USC use. Abuse, abnormal use. They are using you in a way that is abnormal. What does that mean, using you? Well, if you were, let's say, a quarterback, okay, and you had the figure of a quarterback, you had the strength of a quarterback, you knew quarterback real well. And right off the bat, the coach decided that during the game, right off the bat, saying, when you're no longer a quarterback, you're a middle linebacker. You'd get pummeled. Or you're the center, or you're the tackle. You get pummeled. Okay? But for the coach's gain, he doesn't care about you. He just needs a slot to fill. He needs somebody to fill that slot, or he just doesn't like you anymore, and he's just going to put you in there just to laugh at you and see if you could take it. This is all abnormal. But normal using is, hey, if you were a quarterback, you learned to be a quarterback. You're an experienced quarterback. I might hire you to be a quarterback. I'm going to use you as our quarterback. Well, that makes sense, right? Yeah, you were trained, and experienced. Well, sure. Okay. That's the difference. Conditional love is exactly that. It's not unconditional, meaning that I'm using you in such a way that it's going to gain all of us or gain me. And no, we're talking about conditional love now. But I don't really care about you. I just need somebody to fill a seat, or I need somebody to go do what you haven't learned or you don't understand yet. Or I'm so fearful that I need a scapegoat so nobody will rag on me, so I can just blame everything on you. Or like I said, I can hide behind all of you, put you out in the front lines, and so nobody gets to me. Those are cowards, and that's what conditional love is. It's cowardice. Okay, it's cowardice. So when you say like home of the brave in the United States, you say home of the brave. Well, to tell you the truth, the vast majority of people are not brave. Because if they were, they would be pretty far. They would have been to the 8th step of accept, or at least took that leap of faith into the 7th step. But most people don't, out of fear, and if they do, even way less people even will make it to accept. Okay, because it's just too hard emotionally for them to go through, that they say to themselves. So they return to miserable situations. So that's what we're talking about when we're talking about abuse. Okay, abnormal using. Okay, what is unconditional love? Unconditional love is when people allow you to be your natural self and love you no matter what. Okay, if you're this way, fine. Okay, and say to yourself, how is that going to hurt? If that person is a loving individual, how is that going to hurt? And the conditional loving people, well, that's against our rules, our inhibitions. It says it right here, or whatever, And it's like, have you ever thought why those rules were made up in the first place? And they are not normal rules. Those are, like I said, abnormal. And why? Because of fear, and because somebody wanted you on the front line so they could stay behind and not get touched. And you can see that everywhere today, right? When do you see the CEOs in companies? When they are pretty much when Congress makes them come in and talk to them. Other than that, pretty much almost never, unless they're in an advertisement or something like that where they have a script. But for the most part, these people are too scared. So, and that's the whole thing. They are putting up a wall, building. They continue to build a wall of people around them. Okay, so but the unconditional loving person is confident and doesn't need people around them to face whatever comes, because they know that they'll be fine no matter what. Meaning they have the fortitude, the inner fortitude, and to go through anything in life that comes to them, because they have a great deal of experience going through it with their presence, their spirit within already. And this is who they trust in here. And if they trust everything in here, then they can go out and start trusting other people, because they know that no matter what happens, they're going to be just fine. Okay? So I wanted to go ahead and talk to you about that, about abuse and neglect. And that's the same thing. Neglect's the same thing. It's basically, I'm neglecting you so that I can save me. Okay? I'm neglecting you so that it can save me in some way. I can hide or something like, or whatever. Okay? And that's not love. Okay? And that's what I call conditional love, where they say, oh, I love you. But then when certain fears or rules come up that they emphatically will not cross the line, then who are you anymore to them? You're just somebody who crossed a line, and they're like, well, I'm not going in there, so there must be a problem with you. I know not to go there because I've been instilled this fear and so forth, that now everybody tells me is a law, and which in instance is a false law. It's abnormal law. And so they say, well, we've lost you. Goodbye. It's better if you just continue on. So that's it. I just wanted to talk to you about that. I'll talk to you later. Love you. Bye.